Here we go, everyone. The wait is finally over. We got our first official trailer for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 by the one and only Insomniac Games. I'm sure that just like the rest of you, I have been waiting for this moment ever since I first saw the post-credit scene of Spider-Man PS4. Now, of course, within this time span, we've had Miles Morales on the side to fill the void between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2 and expand more on Miles' perspective of this universe, but now it's time for the big guns. So now to start off with the trailer, during the actual PlayStation live stream, we did not see the Marvel or Insomniac logos when the trailer first started. They just cut straight to the shot of the streetlight, which I, much like a lot of people, thought this was going to be a new Infamous game. So I was thinking, oh yeah, new Infamous game, we haven't had one of those in a while. But then the close-up shot of the white spider on the advanced suit came out, and I let out a big gasp and jumped out of my seat. And I was rejoicing at the reveal of Venom. So, judging by that opening shot with the light post, it seems like this might be an indication that Electro will be in this game. Which I'm all for that, because ever since Miles came out, I've been wanting to see a Miles vs. Electro showdown. So it seems like we're gonna get that, which will be really cool to see. I must also say that the desolate nighttime streets of New York definitely gives me Batman Arkham Knight vibes. This may just be for the scenery of the trailer, or there could come a point in the game where New York is under lockdown again due to a major incident. It also seems like Kraven the Hunter is the narrator of the trailer, and we can tell not only because of the voice, but also how he says he's looking for someone to challenge him, and that definitely sounds like a Kraven character arc to me. And of course, lastly, we get our first look at Venom in the game, and he looks amazing. I love the gigantic eyes, and he looks like he's gonna be a massive beast, like the Ultimate Comics version of Venom or the Tom Hardy version, which is exactly what I love to see. Because if Venom is gonna go against two Spider-Man in this game, he's gotta be able to tear them a new one. We can't see the spider logo on Venom's chest. Maybe it's further down and spread apart so we can't see it, but he may also not have it at first in this game, but obtain it later, just like in Ultimate Spider-Man. We then get what looks like a reveal of the spider logo for the Symbiote Advanced suit, and it doesn't really look as edgy as I thought it would, but it's still subject to change. We then get a release date of 2023, which was slightly disappointing at first, since I thought a new Spider-Man game every 2 years would be the norm now, but I honestly don't care how long it takes. I can wait until 2025. Just as long as you take your time to make the best game possible, and even make this game better than the first one, I'll be satisfied. Plus, with the 2023 release date, that just means that people are going to have more time to obtain a PS5 to play the game. And yes, it has been confirmed that Spider-Man 2 will be a PS5 exclusive game and will not be on PS4. And I'm all for that because I think they should be taking full advantage of next gen and just go above and beyond with this game. Plus, Miles Morales was already a cross-gen game, so yeah. I just hope a PS5 Slim model releases in 2023 because I decided that when I get a PS5, I'm just gonna wait for a Slim model to release. Now for a couple of details in this trailer that I sort of glossed over, both Peter and Miles have upgrades to their suits. Miles was definitely more noticeable for me. It really stuck out when I was watching the trailer during the live stream that Miles now has the red sections on his arms. And the whole time I was just thinking that this basically makes it look like a Miles Morales 2099 sort of suit. The belt is a bit different and there's more web patterns outside the general area, but other than that, it's still pretty much the same suit. With Peter's suit, I didn't even notice a difference at first, but the spider logo isn't as big. It only stays inside the red portion of the suit rather than expanding outwards into the blue sections, which I personally prefer the bigger logo. And they also changed his belt and got rid of some of the red on his legs, which I once again prefer the way the original version looked, but these details aren't really that noticeable. As I said, I didn't even notice any differences at first, so it's not really going to be that big of a deal when I'm playing the game, and it's still ultimately distinguishable as the advanced suit. But honestly, if they had the original version of the suit from Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales in the game, I'm just gonna wear that version of it. We also see that Peter has the iron spider arms on the suit in this part of the trailer, as well as this screenshot, which this may still just be the iron spider suit power from the first game, or perhaps this could actually be part of the story, and maybe they'll have some sort of Suit Powers 2.0 thingy in this game. And in this shot, we also see Miles emit blue electricity out of his body rather than the typical orange yellowish color. So this may be a new gameplay mechanic where Miles can both positively and negatively charge energy. And there should be certain puzzles or enemies in this game that require knowing which type of electricity to use. This also just makes it seem more likely that the previously mentioned iron spider arms are actually going to be part of the game to balance out both characters' abilities and give them both something new. But do they really need to do that? I mean, wouldn't the black suit have been good enough? The very last thing is that the new enemies in this trailer look pretty good. They seem more along the lines of regular thugs, but with more tactical equipment, so I think this will be fun to face off against.
But I'm not done yet!
One announcement that definitely took us all by surprise during the PlayStation livestream is that Insomniac are also working on a PS5 exclusive Wolverine game. There's no release date yet, so maybe they announced this a bit too early, as this may not release until after Spider-Man 2 releases in 2023, especially since they did say that the game is in early stages of development right now. However, this is definitely exciting news, as it may mean that Insomniac are further expanding their Spider-Man universe, and that this Wolverine game may actually take place in the same universe as Spider-Man PS4, and we may even see one of these characters appear as a cameo in each other's games. I'm expecting there to be at least a Spider-Man reference in Wolverine, and I'll be very disappointed if there's not a single mention of one of the two web-slingers in the game. But my goodness, Insomniac, you released Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered on the same day last year. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is still a pretty recent release, and now you already have Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine in development simultaneously. What performance-enhancing stuff is Sony giving you guys? I know you're called Insomniac, but please, for your own sake, get some sleep after you release these games. I'm definitely excited about Spider-Man 2, and I think this is going to end up being my favorite game of the decade. I don't even think Spider-Man 3 will be able to top this, since Spider-Man 2 has Venom in it, who is my favorite Spider-Man villain, so it already has that advantage. The only thing that's going to be able to compete with this game as game of the decade for me will be if Sonic Mania 2 releases and it's an absolute wild ride of completely original stages. If that doesn't happen, then I think Spider-Man 2 is definitely locked and loaded for my personal pick for game of the decade. With all of that being said, thanks for watching. In Insomniac we trust.